Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let's talk about women and Muslim men being able to have 4 wives. Yes, 4 wives. So how did this come about? Why did this come about? All you have to do is think right back, all those years ago, before Islam, the Arabs were allowed to marry as many women as they liked. So when the Quran came, and the word from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came down, he made it that men could just marry 4, up to 4 women. Now there was a good reason behind this. At the time there were so many wars and so many people wanted to get rid of Islam and the Muslims that there were many wars. Now of course with war you have casualties. Now, a lot of women used to go with their men into battle to look after and cook and do whatever they could. They didn't actually go into battle, but they were there in the camps. So, if, example, the Muslims would win a war, there would be all these women and children left behind, either by the men that were killed, or they've run off because they don't want to be killed, and they're losing the battle. So all these women and children were left behind. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want you to leave all these people behind. And there is a really good verse in the Quran. Let me have a look. Let me read it for you. It's in Surah 4:9, caring for orphans. Let the guardians be as concerned for the orphans as they would if they were to die and leave their own helpless children behind. So let them be mindful of God and speak equitably. And 10, indeed those who unjustly consume orphans' wealth in fact consume nothing but fire in their bellies, and they will be burned into the blazing hell. So you've got to look after these people. You've got to look after these women, these children. You've got to clothe them, feed them, take them in. Now, to stop a lot of these women from being abused, they used to marry them, take them in and marry them. So they might have a wife already and they've taken another wife, one of the orphans, or they're taking orphan children. Now, as the children grow up, they still keep their things for themselves. You're not allowed to take. And again, a really good verse for that is in here. Surah 4 again, 2. Give orphans their wealth, which when they reach maturity, do not exchange your worthless possessions for their valuables, nor cheat them by mixing their wealth with your own, for this would indeed be a great sin. So you had to give everything to them that was theirs. You can't mix it up with yours. You can't swap it for one of yours because it's better. You have to keep it as it is. And again, Surah 4:6, test the competence of the orphans until they reach marital age. Then if you feel they are capable and sound judgment, return their wealth to them, and do not consume it wastefully and hastily before they grow up to demand it. If the guardian is well off, they should not take compensation, but if the guardian is poor, let them take a reasonable provision. When you give orphans back their property, call in witness, and sufficient is God as a vigilant recorder. Again, Surah 4:3, bridal gifts. If you fear you might fail to give the orphan women their due rights, if you were to marry them, then marry other women of your choice, 2, 3 or 4. But if you are afraid you will fail to maintain justice, then content yourselves with one, or those bondswomen in your possession. This way you are less likely to commit injustice. Give women you wed their due dowries graciously, but if they waive some of it willingly, then you may enjoy it freely with clear conscience. So as you can see, they were looked after, taken in, clothed, fed, and even went on to marry. It is all about bringing people together, looking after people and looking after people that are less well off than you. But another reason that you could marry more than one wife could be that the first wife can't have children and you want to have children. But obviously you have to have this discussion with the first wife. I don't know if I could do it though. I don't know though. Not come up. But yeah, they could want to start a family. But one thing you have to remember, if you have more than one wife, you have to treat them all the same. If one has something, the other has to have it. You buy them a nice house, they all have to have a nice house. They all have to have similar. You can't be better upon one than the other. You look after them all. Hence, it's not done often. So I hope that helps understand a little bit why Muslims are allowed 4 wives.